Hi everyone, this is Pritha SAHA counselor back for another episode of Pritha Se Puchho. Today we are going to talk about an invisible illness. No matter what gender you are, or what religion you follow or don't, or where you live, it can affect anyone. So let's begin. I used to know this teenager, let's call her Anjali. Now, Anjali's mother noticed that every time they tried to talk to her, she would start yelling and snapping. She also started making excuses to bunk school, which affected her grades. The Anjali they knew was very vivacious, chirpy, bubbly, energetic. But all of a sudden, she started bunking her dance classes, started making excuses to not meet her friends. She lost her appetite and started sleeping at erratic hours. This really freaked out her parents. You might think it is normal, teenage hormones. But honestly, Anjali had been struggling for 2 weeks non-stop. Now you might be thinking, no, Anjali cannot be depressed, it's just a phase. But in reality, depression looks different on different people. Does that mean crying all the time or listening to Lana Del Rey on repeat? Well, it could, but it's a lot more than that. Even a highly successful person could be clinically depressed. They could have everything in the world, yet be struggling internally. No one really takes a teenager seriously, right? Which is why it can be a little tricky to identify depression in teenagers. Also, you might hear your friends complain that they are feeling depressed when they're actually low or sad or upset or tired. This might confuse you even more. But remember, depression and sadness are two completely different things. You need to know this. If you are feeling low for the past 2 weeks non-stop, if you have any thoughts of suicide, if you have lost interest in things that was previously enjoyable to you, if you're experiencing any of these things, please reach out to a mental health professional in your area immediately. Signs of depression can last ranging from 2 weeks to 2 years depending on the diagnosis. There are many signs and symptoms of depression. Let's discuss a few. Constantly feeling like you are very helpless and hopeless, inappropriate guilt, excessive anger and uncontrollable emotions, self hate, self loathing, loss of interest, loss of focus on activities, loss of concentration. It can also result to reduced and decreased sex drive. It can also affect your sleep pattern. It can also affect your weight and your appetite. Depression can also cause many anxiety-like symptoms such as feelings of dread, restlessness, nervousness, which can also have many physical symptoms such as rapid heart rate, rapid breathing, muscle twitching, and excessive sweating. In men, depression can look very different. In men, it looks like excessive anger, irritability, risky behavior, alcohol or substance abuse, which is why men don't really recognize that they are depressed and subsequently seek help for it. I know it doesn't look like that right now, but trust me, it does and can get better. Sometimes depression is literally in your blood. Like your beautiful eyes or the shape of your nose, you can also inherit mental illnesses from your family. It can also be your brain. Sometimes your brain glitches and causes a misproduction in the production of happy chemicals such as serotonin or dopamine. It can also be any major traumatic life instances. It could be a breakup, it could be death in the family, or the pandemic. If you have witnessed or experienced any traumatic or life altering experiences such as bullying, abuse, domestic violence, or even a simple presentation that is due tomorrow, all of these things can be triggers. When someone is diagnosed with diabetes, asthma, or a broken bone, do we judge them? No, we are kind, empathetic, and supportive to them. So, why judge someone who has been diagnosed with depression? It is just another illness that can be cured. So, yes, depression is not you seeking attention or faking it. It is a real illness that is caused due to chemical imbalance in your brain. Now look at it like this. Imagine you will have a car. Any car lover knows that the car needs regular servicing, even if the car has not met with an accident or it hasn't broken down anywhere. Why does this help? It helps the car keep functioning smoothly and effectively. Our brains and minds are infinitely more complex than a car. So don't you think even that will require regular servicing and maintenance? So yes, life happens and there are so many incidences that will leave scratches and bumps and dents on us. But with regular servicing, we can actually overcome all of these bumps and scratches. Something to think about. Okay, so what if you are a teenager like Anjali and feels they might be depressed? What do you do? Well, the first thing is make sure that you find yourself a good support system, which can be your parents, teachers, or even your friends. These are people that you can rely on and can open up your heart and true feelings when you're feeling low or upset. Healthy diet, very, very important, guys. Make sure they're eating healthy food and not binging on junk food. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. That is very, very important. Teenagers sometimes need 10 hours of sleep to be well rested. It's very important that we're taking care of ourselves. So self-care is very important. And exercise is one of the best way to maintain self-care. 30 minutes of Zumba, dancing, cycling, running is very, very good for your body and your mind. How does that help? Well, when we exercise, our brain releases happy hormones and chemicals such as endorphins that help us focus and be mentally fit. Last but not the least, ask for help. You asking for help is a sign of bravery. Don't fall for the stigma that therapy is only for cowards, for losers, for abnormal people, or for crazy people. Therapy can help each and every one of us live a very successful life. So you don't have to fight it alone. Ask for help. It's a sign of bravery and courage. There are many counseling centers and NGOs in India that offer free counseling services for people struggling with anxiety or depression. I will put link in the description below. Now, what if you are a parent whose child may be suffering from depression? What can you do? Number one, please win their trust and show them your love. Don't judge them when they tell you something. Listen to them freely. But don't be preachy and pushy. Understand what's bothering them. But that doesn't mean that you will invade their privacy by reading their journals or going through their mobile phone without their permission. Number two, please understand that your child probably is not faking depression and using this as an excuse to avoid work and studies. They will need your support, so be there for them. Number three, make sure that they are getting adequate sleep and healthy food. Your child's depression does not mean you failed as a parent. Anyone can fall sick, right? Anybody can have cold, COVID, anything, right? So similarly, depression can also attack anybody. So don't take their mental health challenges personally and berate yourself or go on a guilt trip. Finally, and the most important, take it one step at a time. Let your child be a child and be their support system. Don't be too harsh on them unnecessarily. With time, things will get better with the correct guidance, support, and if required, medical help. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please like and share. And if you want to talk to me, drop a hi in the comments below. This is Pritha SAHA counselor, and in the next episode of Pritha Se Puchho, we are going to be discussing the various types of depression. So stay tuned. I'm always here for you. Hugs and healing. Bye.